like Herman Miller, yeah, like Aveda, yeah, because we had George Bush. George Bush was great in a certain logic. Yeah, I was in Sydney, for example, in 2007, yeah, in Sydney, and there was George Bush in November. He said, "I'm so glad to be in Austria." Yeah. Because after 7 years in power, he didn't know the difference between Austria and Australia. Yeah. And then he was opening a conference. He thought, Austria, yeah, Vienna, OPEC. So he was opening the OPEC conference. Yeah. But it was the APEC conference, the Asian Pacific conference. Yeah. So when this is your president, you know you have some potential as well. Yeah. And you don't wait for the government anymore. Yeah. So that's why George Bush was so great for us to develop Cradle to Cradle, because nobody was waiting for the government anymore. Yeah. But we will face an eco-dictatorship. You will see that. Yeah? You can go, every hotel tells you, turn off the light, minimize your carbon footprint. Yeah? They will give you 2 tons of carbon dioxide, and when you use them up, they will put you in artificial coma for the rest of the year, yeah? And give you another 2 tons next year, hopefully. Yeah? But I can tell you there's so many things, but the European Union is pretending to do something, that we will be facing a period of ecologism like we had socialism. Yeah? Socialism was never social, but ecologism doesn't help the ecology, it only keeps us busy. Yeah? For example, we are banning now light bulbs. Yeah? How nice. Yeah? If you would make legislation that everybody would basically wear a tie in winter, yeah? Yeah? Especially women are the problem. Yeah? So you could reduce the room temperature for 2 degrees Celsius if everybody gets a little strangled. Yeah? Yeah. So yeah, that would save about 7 times more energy than the light bulb thing. Yeah? So you can do something. Yeah? You can do a lot. Yeah? Except in summer we need to change that every man needs to wear a skirt as well, just to minimize the climatization thing as well. We can do a lot like this. So never drink sparkling water, for example. So it's only still water. Yeah? And whoever wants to drink here, you can have it as well. Because when I drink now, yeah, you would hate me. Yeah? Yeah? And you cannot resist to hate me for that. Yeah? I drink and you don't have anything. But if I give you the chance to drink here, everybody can have that here, it changes the whole thing. So Cradle to Cradle first is about giving opportunities. So just if you want, yeah. So because we need to talk about facing a potential eco-dictatorship pretty soon. Yeah. Look, I was in London a few months ago, yeah, in talking to Ellen MacArthur, and so I took this picture from there. Yeah, and I like to drink peppermint tea with milk. Yeah. I said, oh, how awful. Yeah. But first of all, it's even more healthy. Yeah, because you take up the essential oils much better. Yeah, tomorrow you can talk to the Chuck Bennett tomorrow about Aveda essential oils, yeah, and he can tell you about it. So I like to drink peppermint tea with milk. Yeah. But they give you brewing instructions. Yeah, they tell you. Yeah. Always drink without milk. Yeah? Just you sit at breakfast and they tell you. So I said, hey, wait a minute. I'm a free person and I want to drink my peppermint tea as ever I want. Yeah? So then I said, oh yes, okay, we do a new design. Yeah? This is a new design. It's now 2 months on the market, latest design. I said, we really respect your needs. Yeah? They sent me a letter and said, yeah, so that's a new design. Yeah. They even tell me what I should enjoy. Yeah? This is what you will see. Yeah? We will be facing a totalitarian regime. Everybody will tell you exactly what to do. So Cradle to Cradle is not a license to be stupid. Yeah? So I was at TED conference in Long Beach, and people paid $8,000 to be there. So everybody thinks it's a great conference because you pay so much money for that. Yeah? So that's a problem of this event tonight. It was just too cheap to be here. Yeah? So, yeah, and they really, can you imagine, all over London, in all the nice hotels, they have Fiji water. Compared to Dutch tap water, the quality is about the same. Yeah? It's not anyhow better. Yeah? But they take the water from Fiji and ship it all over the planet. Yeah? Isn't it nice? Yeah? But you can learn from that. First of all, you can learn to do eco-balance about it. Yeah? So they really do a lot to calculate the ecological footprint. Yeah? How nice. Yeah? But on the other side, when you take water from Fiji, yeah, in my house where I'm staying in Rotterdam is minus 17 meters. Yeah? Yeah. So we will be able in Netherlands to deal with 2 meters extra in the rise of the sea level, because we are used to that. Yeah? 1/3 of our country is artificial land. Yeah? So we can handle that. But if we have a rise of the sea level for Fiji for 50 centimeters, the Fiji Islands will be gone. So it's good to take water from there, because then they get flooded later. Yeah? Yeah. So, but does it really make sense? But what they understand, different to low carbon, to reducing, avoiding, then Copenhagen signed a declaration to be carbon neutral in 2025. Yeah? You only can be carbon neutral when you don't exist. That's the only way. Yeah? So they signed a declaration not to exist. Just by thinking you're not carbon neutral. Yeah? So what they understand, it's a different thing. We need to come up at each place with a different answer. So it's about diversity. Yeah? Look, when we are, for example, in France, Germany, or United Kingdom, we say we have a great dinner, yeah? And we say great dinner, yeah? And hopefully we have a great dinner tonight, yeah? Yeah, it's great. When you do the same in Spain and Italy, yeah, it's a very nasty gesture. It's the same thing. So why do we take a northern approach where it's dark and cold and make a global standard out of it? When we see even at the same continent, yeah, the different symbols have a different meaning. Yeah? But this is what we do. Yeah? We now have great companies like Toyota, yeah, showing this is a baby, yeah, and says the aim is 0 emissions. Yeah? How sad. You can be only 0 when you don't exist. Yeah? The aim is 0 emissions. It means the aim is not to exist. Yeah? And then you show a baby. Yeah? The aim is 0 emissions, Toyota. Okay, Toyota has a lot of technical problems. Yeah? So they do something not to exist, yeah, right now. But is it really what they want? Yeah? Look, this tree doesn't have 0 emissions. This tree is not carbon neutral. This tree is not low carbon. This tree is not sustainable. Yeah? This tree grows. Yeah? Yeah? And there are 600 billion trees around the Amazon. Yeah? Did you ever hear about an overpopulation problem of trees? Yeah? Every tree in the Amazon off-gases 1,000 liters of water a day. Yeah? So not 0 emissions. Yeah? This tree makes oxygen, this tree makes soil, this tree cleans the air, this tree is a beneficial habitat for other species. This tree is not less bad. This tree is not minimizing, not reducing, not avoiding. We can do something. The European Union is only paying tax credits in all the buildings, and the same in United Kingdom, the same in Germany, it's the same in France. We only get tax credits when we can prove that our building is sealed. Yeah? Yeah, we need to make it energy efficient. To save energy, we need to seal the buildings. But look, if we analyze the air in Rotterdam in a building compared to the outside air, the indoor air quality in a building is about 3 to 8 times worse than outside urban air. So, how nice, yeah? So now we seal the building, yeah, just to minimize the energy consumption, instead of first saying, hey, we want to have a clean air in the building. We want that the indoor air quality is better than outside air. Then we can optimize it. Otherwise, we make the wrong things perfect. Yeah? All over Europe, asthma is by far the most relevant children's disease. Yeah? And we make it much worse with that. We have toner dust, for example, from laser printers. Yeah? Yeah? The European Union regulating 50,000 tons of toner dust, sometimes a lot of nickel, sometimes a lot of mercury, never regulated. We do children's toys. Yeah? We analyze, we put things in a glass box. This is Mattel children's toys. Yeah? And we look what is off-casing. The stuff is never designed for children. Yeah? It's only designed to be cheap. It's for £1, they make it in China. For £20, they sell it in London or here as well. Yeah? Never made for children. Every peak is one chemical. Yeah? So I got the Green Chemistry Award by George Bush, and I used the opportunity to say, look, dear Mr. President, you don't need to go to Iraq to find chemical weapons. Here they are, yeah? Yeah. Yeah. So you don't, yeah. Look, we talk about terrorism, yeah, and we are so afraid of terrorism. Yeah, sure, it's a risk, yeah, but we have all the security thing. But why don't you have a little security thing about indoor air quality first? Yeah? about healthy children's toys. Yeah. This is terrorism. If you expose children to carcinogens, this is terrorism. Yeah. What is the European Union doing? Yeah. They now, instead of 39 chemicals, they are now banning 64 chemicals from children's toys. Yeah. But we find in children's toys more than 800 chemicals, yeah, which are toxic and dangerous for children. So what does it help you to ban 64 of them? Yeah. If I invite you for dinner, I tell you it's free of chicken, yeah, that doesn't help you that much as well. Yeah. We analyze all the different stuff. It's not only children's toys. Computers are never made for indoor use. Yeah. It's all stinking. It's all off-casing. Here you see a vacuum cleaner, Siemens vacuum cleaner. These are European brand products. Yeah. Yeah. They're never designed for indoor use, never. And the concentration of off-casing is so high that we had to pay a fine to the laboratory because they said we are there for trace analysis, not for analyzing milligrams. Yeah? Yeah. So we had to pay a fine for the laboratory because we contaminated the whole laboratory with this huge contamination. Yeah? Yeah. So we need to look systematically at materials. And the materials part is far more critical than oil. Look, for example, copper is far more critical than oil. Yeah? So look, we will learn to use the sun. We will solve our energy problem, but we don't have enough meteorites coming in. Yeah? European Union does a lot. We regulate now. If you take Volkswagen or Ford, yeah, or any type of car in Europe, yeah, you can read the brake pads, yeah, free of asbestos. Hi, Steph. Yeah, there's a Steph Grundy coming by just there. So you see brake pads are free of asbestos. Yeah. Nobody asked what is instead. Yeah. Instead, it's antimony sulfate, which is a much stronger carcinogen, but it's free of asbestos. How nice, yeah? So we have our great heroes. You say no goal is more crucial for healing the global environment than stabilizing human population. Yeah. How nice, yeah? Look, the result is very clear. In Israel, we say, when you save one life, you save the earth. Yeah? It says the more you kill, the better. Yeah? Logic, stabilizing human population. We don't have human beings anymore in companies. We have human resources. Yeah? Yeah? All these companies have human resource departments. Yeah? Same logic. Yeah? If you take the BASF Environmental and Corporate Social Responsibility Report, the first chapter is how BASF is reducing water, how they're minimizing waste, etc. It's called natural resources. The next chapter already is called human resources, how to minimize, how to reduce, how to avoid. This has severe consequences. Our foreign aid for Africa is only 1/3 from Europe, but it was 30 years ago. We let them die on purpose, yeah? Because we think there are too many. Yeah? So if the most crucial thing is to heal the planet is stabilizing human population, says, hey, it's better you're not here. Yeah. We can do something to minimize our carbon footprint. For example, when you're in a building, yeah, never take the stairs. Yeah. Don't do any sports. Yeah. If you take the stairs, we calculated for a 40-year-old vegetarian woman, yeah, yeah, if you take the stairs, it takes 5 times more energy to generate the calories to lift that person than to take the elevator. Yeah. Because electricity in a completely balanced system is far less energy than taking you the stairs. So when you want to protect the environment, yeah, take the elevator. Yeah. You can minimize your carbon footprint, definitely. There's clear proof about it. You can do something, never drink Prosecco. Yeah. Champagne has 3 times less carbon dioxide emissions. Yeah. You can do a lot.